So welcome back to another episode, and what a crazy week. I'm still trying to recover from it all. So much stuff has been going on, so many video games have been revealed. It is E3, 100%, and just as everything is kind of calming down for me, I did my Nintendo E3 reaction this morning, was kind of blown away by some of the games that were revealed. You know, obviously the new Metroid Prime being revealed, incredible stuff. Then all of a sudden, I remembered something. I'm like, Nintendo was having two events in Canada, only two events in Canada, one in Toronto and one here in Vancouver, to show the brand new Mario Odyssey and let you play it. But you had to book slots ahead of time to be able to go and play it at designated times. The cool thing is, this is not too far away from me. It's 15 minutes away from me. So I thought, you know what? I'll take a gamble. I'll drive down to this mall. I'll go up to this Nintendo booth and see if I can get a spot to play Mario Odyssey, because I really want to see what this game is all about. So I busted down there in my truck. I got down there, got into the mall, got up to the booth. And I'm lucky, there's one slot that is open in like 10 minutes. So basically I get in nearly right away to try Mario Odyssey. And I'm going to give you my entire impressions of that. And just before that, they had a whole bunch of other things going on there. You could play ARMS, and you could try out the new 2DS XL. I tried it out. The one thing I do want to say is the design was kind of sleek. It was very, very light. That was the one thing that got me about it. But it still was the same 3DS XL, but without the 3D this time. So I got to go up and play Mario Odyssey. That is the reason why I went to this event. And I got there, I put on the Joy-Cons. You know, you have to put on the straps because they don't want you throwing these Joy-Cons at anybody. I started to play the game. Here's my initial thoughts of the game. Mario 64. 100% Mario 64. Mario controls the same way, the same double jump, all those great things that we enjoyed in Mario 64. But there's brand new enhancements. The hat mechanics in this game are what sets it apart from any other Mario game, is that you can take your hat, throw it at enemies, kill the enemies, you can destroy blocks with it. But the really cool thing that you can do with it is you can throw it at certain enemies and turn into those enemies and control those enemies throughout the level to accomplish certain tasks. And that was a brand new gameplay mechanic I had to get used to. The other new gameplay mechanic I had to get used to was when you threw your hat, with the Joy-Cons you could twist what arc your hat goes into, and which way you can make your hat move into. That was something brand new, and I was still wrapping my head around those kinds of controls. But everything controlled really, really well, really, really tight. What was so cool is when you took over other enemies, you could control their abilities. So there was one point where I needed to collect all these keys to unlock the end of the level, but I couldn't find the keys. So I took over this like rock creature and flipped its sunglasses back to reveal different locations that I could go, hidden pathways throughout the level. And that was so interesting, and it was such a brand new take on the classic Mario formula. It really shook things up. So you'd enter a level, you had to accomplish one thing in that level, but you had to do a bunch of different things to get to that point. So the levels of gameplay were quite deep, and the game was challenging. It took me a little bit to get used to the style of controls and to get used to playing it. The one thing that was so amazing was being able to go from 3D to 2D at certain sections in the game. So you'd be going in 3D, and then all of a sudden it goes straight to 2D, and you're playing a good old 2D Mario game. And the transition from 3D to 2D was really cool, but your brain had a hard time going, oh, I'm in 2D now. It was very unique. When that happened, it really reminded me of the gameplay of A Link Between Worlds. I thought it was really cool. That aesthetic going from 3D to 2D was really awesome. And how did the game feel? It felt wonderful. It controlled really well. I had a lot of fun playing it. The graphics were so cartoony, but yet stylized, and I was having such a good time. I was so sad when it came to the end. I was like, oh, I want more. I want to play more of this. I thought it was a really charming game, and it really was Mario 64. And I'm saying that as a massive compliment to the game. I'm really loving it how Nintendo is going back to the past and giving gamers what they want. We've all wanted a real pseudo sequel to Mario 64, and this is very different, but it feels more in that family. It really does. And the last few Mario games have been really cool. I've had a lot of fun with them, but they've been a lot different than Mario 64. And this is really back on track into that kind of exploration, platforming, adventure style game. And I had a really good time with it. And I got my Super Mario Odyssey pin. So that was a lot of fun. And I want to thank Susan and Andy for showing me the ropes with this game today and, you know, taking me all the way through it, and all the other Nintendo reps. Everybody was really cool, and I had a really good afternoon. So anyways, guys, until next time.